Prince Vale of House Karos had imagined war as a parade. The Velthari Empire had conquered 7 systems in a decade, and every enemy had folded the same way. First fear, then surrender, then tribute. Humans were supposed to be the easiest of all, a loud young species with fragile ships and soft bodies. That was why the briefing felt almost insulting. "A Human Scout unit," Commander Draxel said, projecting the moon outpost on the holo map. "Minimal defenses. Weak signal traffic. Likely a patrol team." Prince Soren, younger and sharper-tongued, laughed. "Then why bring princes at all?" "To witness the Empire expanding," Draxel replied, bowing. 3 royal cruisers entered orbit. 12 assault barges descended through the thin atmosphere. 2,000 elite Velthari soldiers landed in perfect formation, banners raised, plasma rifles glowing with confidence. Vale walked behind the first wave, cloak trailing over gray dust like a promise of conquest. The human outpost sat half-buried in rock, a line of metal structures against a jagged ridge. No movement, no defensive fire, no panic. Silence. Prince Vale narrowed his eyes. They have already fled. The lead platoon advanced toward the ridge. Then the ground opened. A buried charge erupted under their feet, lifting armored bodies like broken toys. The shockwave slammed into the second platoon, flipping supply sleds and scattering comm drones. Dust rolled outward in a choking wall. Prince Soren stumbled back, roaring orders. "Shields up! Regroup!" Before the Velthari could reform, a second blast detonated on their left flank. Then a third behind them, severing the retreat path with a crater of molten stone. Their comms filled with static, screams, overlapping reports. "Ambush!" someone shouted. Prince Vale watched his perfect formation collapse into chaos. The humans were not firing wildly. They were shaping the battlefield, carving it into traps. A thin red dot appeared on the chest plate of Vale's nearest guard. Vale blinked. The guard's helmet snapped sideways as if struck by an invisible hammer. He dropped without a sound. No plasma flare, no energy discharge. Just a clean impact that punched through royal armor like paper. Prince Vale's throat tightened. Projectile weapon? That was barbaric, ancient. Yet it killed with terrifying certainty. More red dots flickered across armor plates. One by one, Velthari soldiers fell, silent and precise. The princes were surrounded by elite troops, yet it felt like being naked in a storm. Prince Soren drew his ceremonial blade, voice shaking with fury. "Humans, face us!" A message cut through every channel at once, overriding static like a knife. A calm human voice spoke, almost bored. "Velthari royals confirmed. Scout Unit 7, contact made." Prince Vale felt his blood chill. Scout Unit 7, not a battalion, not an army, a scout unit. Then the voice continued, colder now. "Recommend immediate retreat. You are not cleared for this engagement, Prince." Prince. Vale forced his lungs to work as dust and smoke crawled into every seam of his armor. The battlefield had stopped feeling like war and started feeling like a hunt. The Velthari were trained for open combat. Proud lines of plasma fire and roaring charges. But this enemy did not fight like prey. This enemy fought like shadow. Another crack echoed across the ridge. A lieutenant raised his rifle to aim and collapsed mid-step. Visor punched through with a single clean impact. No warning, no heat flare. Just death. The royal guard tightened around the princes, shields forming a protective arc. Prince Soren snarled, rage trembling in his voice. "Cowards! Show yourselves!" Commander Draxel's comm channel sputtered with interference. "My princes, we cannot lock them. No thermal signatures, no radar reflection. They are masked." Vale stared at his tactical display. Enemy count remained low, almost insulting. The scanners insisted there were only a handful of humans. That should have meant victory. Instead, it meant humiliation. "Fall back," Vale ordered. "Return to landing zone. Request orbital suppression." Draxel hesitated. High Command demanded the outpost intact. "Orbital fire may damage it." Vale's eyes hardened. "High Command is not bleeding in this dust. Move!" The retreat began in scattered groups. Wounded were dragged, broken banners pulled from craters. For a moment, it looked like the Velthari might escape the kill zone. Then the humans changed the rules again. A sharp whistle sliced the air. Something small arced from the ridge and landed among the retreating troops. It did not explode. Instead, it released a shimmering pale cloud that flowed like living fog. Velthari soldiers began coughing instantly. Filters choked. Visors clouded. Their armor systems screamed warnings as microscopic grit jammed vents and joints. It was not poison. It was smarter than poison. Prince Soren tore his helmet seal open for air, gasping in panic. Vale grabbed him and slammed the seal shut. "Do not expose yourself." Another whistle. This one landed near the princes. Vale dove, dragging Soren down. The device burst into blinding light and a violent sound pulse. The world shook. Vale's ears rang. His HUD flickered and died for 3 heartbeats, long enough to feel naked. Shapes moved through the dust. Not on the ridge. Inside the storm. Humans rose like ghosts, matte-armored, no bright crests, no banners. Their helmets were smooth, their lenses dark. They did not shout. They did not celebrate. They moved with cold discipline. One human fired a compact launcher. An electrified wire net snapped across 3 Velthari soldiers, pinning them as their armor spasmed. Another human slid behind a supply sled and tapped its core. The sled died instantly, lights fading like a throat being crushed. Prince Vale felt fear, real fear, crawling into his bones. The calm human voice returned on every channel closer now. "Scout Unit 7 to Velthari Royals. Last warning." Prince Vale raised both hands slowly, palms outward, forcing his guards to stop firing. Plasma bolts were useless when the enemy could not be seen. Every shot only revealed positions, and every revealed position earned a silent death. Around them, Velthari soldiers lay scattered in the dust. Some dead, some pinned by wire nets. Others coughing as their armor systems struggled to clear the grit. Prince Soren fought against Vale's grip. "Brother, do not humiliate us," Vale hissed back, low and sharp. "Humiliation is living. Pride is dying." The human with the rifle did not flinch. His weapon stayed steady, the red dot still centered on Soren's chest plate. 2 more humans appeared beside him like they had been there all along, stepping out of the dust with calm precision. Their armor was dull, sand-colored, built to vanish. No medals, no royal crests, only purpose. A new voice entered the channel, deeper, older, and unmistakably in command. "This is Scout Unit 7 lead. Identify yourselves." Prince Vale swallowed. "I am Prince Vale of House Karos. With me is Prince Soren. We demand—" The human cut him off. "You are inside a restricted human corridor. Your landing was recorded. Your attack was recorded. Your ships are currently targeted." Vale's heart tightened. "Targeted by what? You have no orbital fleet here." The human answered without emotion. "You are incorrect." A symbol flashed across Vale's damaged HUD as his systems recovered. It was not Velthari code. It was human. And it carried a terrifying message, multiple lock confirmations. Prince Soren laughed bitterly. "Bluff." The human leader did not respond with words. He simply lifted 2 fingers and made a small gesture. Far above, one of the Velthari cruisers in orbit suddenly blossomed into light. Not an explosion like plasma impact, but a precise chain of detonations along its spine, as if invisible claws had ripped through key systems. The cruiser broke apart in silence, pieces burning as they fell into the moon's thin atmosphere. Velthari soldiers froze. Even the wounded stopped moving. Prince Vale's mouth went dry. "How?" The human leader finally stepped closer, rifle lowered slightly but never fully relaxed. "We do not bring armies to border moons. We bring scouts. Scouts mark targets. Scouts delay you. Scouts decide if you are a threat." Prince Soren's voice cracked. "This is impossible. You are only a unit." The human tilted his helmet, almost curious. "Correct. Only a unit. And you still lost." Vale felt something colder than fear settle into him. Understanding. The Empire had measured humans by the wrong standards. Humans did not show strength with banners or numbers. They showed it with control. Commander Draxil's voice suddenly burst through the comms, panicked. "My princes! Our other cruisers are receiving lock warnings. We must withdraw immediately." The human leader spoke again, tone turning sharper. "You have one chance. Order your troops to stand down." Prince Vale's command echoed across every Velthari channel. For a moment there was only disbelief, then reluctant obedience. Plasma rifles lowered, shields dimmed. Soldiers who could still stand stepped back from, the humans as if backing away from a cliff edge. Prince Soren stared at his brother like he had been stabbed. "You would bow to them?" Vale did not look away. I would keep you alive. The human leader watched the surrender with the patience of someone timing a machine. When the last Velthari weapon powered down, he spoke again. Good. Now you will retreat to your landing zone in single file. No sudden movements. No signals to orbit beyond retreat codes. Commander Draxel's voice came through, strained with shame. Understood. Retreat codes transmitting. Vale turned his head slightly, trying to see through the drifting dust. You said our ships were targeted. By what force? The human leader paused, then raised his hand and pointed toward the ridge. A section of stone slid aside, not blasted, not broken, but opening like a door. Beneath it sat a long barrel-shaped structure, half-buried, camouflaged to match the moon. Another revealed itself, then another. Silent guns hidden in plain sight. Mass drivers, the human said. Old physics, reliable, hard to detect. We call them fence posts. Prince Vale's stomach tightened. Fence posts, as if the Velthari were animals wandering into a field. Prince Soren's voice was small now. This outpost, it is not a base, the human leader answered calmly. Correct. It is a sensor relay, a listening node. It exists to warn us when empires like yours get curious. Vale's pride burned, but the truth burned worse. The Velthari had arrived thinking they were hunting weak prey, yet humans had treated them like trespassers caught by an alarm system. As the Velthari column began to move, a wounded soldier stumbled and fell near a human. Instinctively, the Velthari reached for his rifle. A red dot appeared on his helmet. He froze, trembling. The human did not shoot. Instead, he stepped forward and kicked the rifle away, then offered a hand to the wounded soldier, pulling him up with surprising ease. The gesture was not kindness. It was control. Mercy delivered like a warning. Prince Vale watched that moment closely. It frightened him more than violence. The humans could kill at will, yet chose restraint, like they were already certain of victory. At the landing zone, Velthari barges powered up. Dust spiraled under their thrusters. Prince Soren climbed the ramp, still shaking, eyes fixed on the ridge as if expecting monsters to follow. Prince Vale paused at the threshold and turned back. Human leader. Your name? The human considered, then replied, Lieutenant Marasato. A female voice, calm, unimpressed. Vale inclined his head not in submission but in recognition. Your scout unit defeated princes. Sato's reply was simple. No, your arrogance defeated you.